Welcome to week 2, guys. It's been so good hearing how you've felt throughout our first week, how your body's felt, how it's recovered, and after using some muscles that maybe haven't been used in a little while, but also what your challenges are and what you've been enjoying. So thank you so much for jumping on and sharing that with me. I'll be touching base with all of you this week, just finding out how you're going and how I can help support you coming into week 2. Remember, you guys are committed to 4 weeks. This is just a trial program, so let's be really communicative with each other and really open with each other as we move through these next few weeks. So you get the most out of it, but it'll also help me fine-tune this program for all the future mamas that are going to do this with us as well. Now, for your pre-recorded workout today, you're going to need a couple of props. Your first prop is your broom, so your kitchen broom or your mop, whatever you've got on hand, that is going to do fine. I've just got a dowel rod. It's the same thing. It's going to do the same job. Your second thing is either a water container. Now this is just a 10-litre water container that was filled with spring water. You can get that at Woolies or any major supermarkets, even IGA. They'll have something really similar to this. 10 litres will give you 10 kilos. So for every litre of water, that's 1 kilo. If you don't have a water container, I'm sure you've got a handbag or a backpack or something similar at home. Grab that, fill it up with the kids' toys or some food or some books I find work really well. I've just stashed a heap of books of the kids' books in here. If you want it heavier, add bigger, heavier ones. If you want it lighter, dump some out. Same with the water container as well. Find a weight that you feel comfortable with. Remember, we're conditioning you for real life. So think about how much your kid weighs. Because sometimes we think, 10 kilos? That's a lot. But are you picking up your kid every day and how much do they weigh? Are they 10 or 12 kilos or 15 kilos or 20 kilos even? Think about what you're doing on a daily basis and how we want to condition you and your body for that to prevent injury or just make you feel fitter and stronger in your daily tasks. So just consider that when you choose the weight that you're going to use. Now, we're going to start with our warm-up. We're really going to get moving with this today. So come into that squat stretch position with me. Move through the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit more mobile after last week, even if your muscles feel a little bit tight. Start to sit up with the chest. Open up overhead. I'm pushing that opposite knee out and getting that really big stretch up through my lats. We're going to do one more like that. And then you're going to come into that lunge stretch position. So my back knee is directly in underneath my hip. Tuck the pelvis under so you're tucking the tailbone forward. And I'm going to hold my kitchen broom or my rod straight out in front of me. And as I sort of push into that stretch, which is just a little adjustment with the hip, I'm going to pull round the front knee. And I'm really using that back arm to pull, so I'm getting that nice rotation. And so we're just changing the direction of this stretch than what we did, compared to what we did in the Facebook Live, where we just did a quad lunge stretch. Release that, come into the other side, get that position, find the stretch first. So remember, we don't want to stick our butt out, we want to learn to really pelvic tuck under. Push the tailbone forward without leaning forward. So I'm just tucking, I get that stretch. Come out, shoulder height, wrap around that front knee. Really pull that back arm round. Do one more like that. And then releasing that. We're going to come into squat and rotate next. So squat down and rotate. So hands go down around that knee, up around the opposite shoulder. Change sides again here, down, up and around. Remember, we're keeping our knees pushing out and we're keeping our heels on the ground as well. Come into that split stance, bend, hands up behind the head, push the hips back. So I don't initiate from the upper body, I just start hinging over at the hip. Or it's like you're trying to touch a wall behind you with your butt. So I'm just pushing back, pushing back, pushing back. Switch over sides, big long step. Squeeze back, bum out, chest out. Think about that bend pattern we practice in the live workout with the kitchen broom down our spine. Think about that posture and we'll be practicing that again today. 2 more and 1 more. And then we're gonna come into reverse lunge, open through the chest. Step in, squeeze your shoulder blades. So you can get out of the upper traps and more in here where your shoulder blades are. Inhale as you go down, exhale, come up, speed it up a little bit. 2, and one more. 1. Shake it out, give it a little wiggle and say, yes, I'm gonna do this today. It is 20 minutes of my time. Woo woo, this is gonna be some fun. Grab your broom, pop it at your spine. If you did the Facebook Live workout, you know what I'm talking about. Watch your mum bun, it might be in the way. Start pushing your hips back and just practice what we did on Friday. It's touching the back of the head, the shoulder blades, and just that top part of your glutes, right? Like where your tailbone is. Remember, we don't want to get too much room at that lumbar spine. We just want to sort of touch that lower back. So draw in here, feel the lower back, yeah? Just a nice little curve. And if you feel like that back comes too far away from the hand that's holding the rod, then you know you're really arching into that lower back. You know you can sort of draw back in here and set the rib cage without flaring the ribs. If you have trouble with this, let me know and I'll coach you individually on it. Now, keep that same posture, but bring the rod in front of you, and I just want you to slide the rod down to the bottom of your knees and then come back up. It's exactly the same posture. If you're not sure about it, come back to the rod down, going down your spine, and keep practicing that posture. This is your first movement. Bend, row, let it back out. Come up if you need to, or if you want to make it harder, you'll stay down and you'll row for 10 reps, or the time it takes me to do 10 reps. Yeah? So come with me, down, row, down, up, or down, row constantly, maintaining that position. So really loaded back in the hamstrings and making sure you're really lifting your tailbone, staying engaged through the core, and keeping the chin down, not up. So now grab your bag or your water container, whatever you feel like you want to use for this, and pop the kitchen broom or the rod through the handbag handle or the handle on the water container, and do that same thing. Down, pull, down, and up. Yeah? So keep going with that. Practice a couple of reps. I'll show you with the water container. I actually think this might stay a little bit sturdier for me. Down, up, down. You got it? Now, where do you want to feel this? In between the shoulder blades. Don't let your belly push out into your singlet. See if you can draw that back in by using that core activation that we used at the end of the workout on Friday. Yeah? Come up, shake it out, rest off that one for a moment. Your second movement, excuse me while I'm off camera, your second movement is going to be a squat or a squat overhead press. So what I want you to do is take your rod, and you can either take your hands a bit wider than shoulder width apart and squat down and come up. That can be your first movement, your easier movement, but I want you to pretend you're going to snap the rod in half. Yeah? See if you can speed it up a little bit. Let's start getting really warm. And I'm pulling out like I'm going to snap it in half. I'm creating tension by holding the rod really, really hard. You can do that or come into a squat, overhead press. So I'm driving the rod up overhead as I come up out of the squat. That's your second movement. Your third and final movement is a drop down. Now, you might hate me for this one. Drop down to the ground. Come up to standing. Drop down. Come up. However you need to, it might look like this. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need to do. Yeah, whatever you need to do to get up and down. You're going to go on my pace. I'll tell you when to stop. I'll give you a 10-second little recovery between each movement, and then a 30-second recovery at the end of each set. We've got 3 sets to get through, and then we've got some prone TVA and supine TVA at the back end, which probably means nothing at all with those silly fancy names, but just go with me. You ready? Let's do it. Grab your rod, grab your water container or your bag, feed the handle through. First movement, come with me. I'll tell you when to go, I'll tell you when to stop. You ready? Steady, let's go. Down and pull if you want to, or after each pull, come back up to standing, yeah? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, rest. We've got 10 seconds, 9, 8. These are kind of like, we're gonna start using the timer a little bit more, but think about this is the kind of recovery or kind of count you want in your head. Squat now. Either pull the bar out or the broom apart, like you're trying to snap it in half. Or your other option is up overhead. Now, you could be sitting back down into a chair if you want to. Yeah, one more, rest, 10 seconds. We've got drop down next. And remember, a chair or your lounge, anything like that, sit, breathe out, come up. Inhale. Remember, we practiced that stomping and driving up last week. Drop downs, you ready? Set, go. Get down however you want to. It's not a burpee. Can't even talk. It's not a burpee. It's just a drop down. Come up. One more with me. Up, rest. 30 seconds, yeah? Big deep breaths. Exercise can be stressful on the body. To kind of counteract that stress, we want to get as much nostril breathing as we can, just to start to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. 15 seconds. You'll need your rod, and you'll need your water container or your bag. Get ready, you've got 8 seconds. Ready? Set 2 of 3. Let's go. Down and pull. I'm really trying to get my elbows as high as I can, yeah? And if this gets too much for your lower back, you come up, or you don't even do the row. You practice the postural rod, exactly like we did at the start, yeah? One more, rest. Flick it off, pull your rod out, because you'll need it for this next movement. 6 seconds, 5, squat, pull it out or push up overhead. You ready? Set, go. I want to exaggerate my breath so you know when to breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Rest. Off. Whoo. Drop downs in 6 seconds. Ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. No jumping. Down, up. Down, up. Kneel if you need to. Roll onto your back if you need to. I think that might make it harder. Onto your side if you want to. Try and alternate your dominant leg stepping in. One more. One more, rest. 30 off. One more set. See if you can control the breath. Yeah, you're just trying to slow it down, slow it down. If you want to go a little bit harder in this last set, go for it, yeah? If you need to pull back, pull back. It is totally up to you. Work through the 10-second rest if you want to. You ready? Bent over row. Set, 2, 1. We're on. Bend, pull. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Stick your butt out. Don't let it roll under like that. Stick it out, stick it out, stick it out. 3, 2, 1. One more, rest. Always like to get in a little sneaky one. It's that extra one that counts, huh? Can anyone do some cool shit with their rod? All right, squat, you ready? Steady, here we go. I'm gonna hold it out in this one. And I'm even gonna hold to push. See if you can really squeeze your knees out and create some tension from your foot. Don't let your knees come in, yeah? Squeeze out, hold, push, push, push. Go, 2 more, 1, 2, 3, up. Last one, 1, 2, 3, squeeze your knees out, up, flick it off. Last set of drop downs. I don't care how many you get out, but you're gonna challenge yourself. 5 seconds, we're on. 2 and 1, go, 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 go. All the way down, ready? Up. Try and get up as quick as you can. Ready? Down, up, down, up. 2 more, down, up. Last one, down, up. Yes, awesome. Big deep breaths, bit of water if you need to, yeah? Really important that we just slow down a little bit here now so we can use our breath, says the girl that's like trying to breathe and talk. We're gonna really use our breath in the TVA work that we're about to do, okay? Well done with that. 3 sets goes like that, huh? I really want you guys to get some good wins out of this. So it starts to break down those obstacles of what you feel is hard. Yeah, what's hard to get done. It's not always. Okay, lay down on your back. Knees bent if you need to, or, you know, if that's better for you, as long as that feels okay for your lower back, you can do it like that as well. I've got sweat in my eye. Oh, it's like a storm coming here today. It's so humid, it's so hot. All right, relax your shoulders. Now, what I'm gonna get you to do, and you might find it easy actually in this first set to bend your knees, I'm gonna get you to practice some pelvic tucks like we spoke about in the mobility drills just before. So we've practiced this breath where we breathe in, do this with me, breathe out, and we practice that vagina smoothie and the closing in of the rib cage. So we practiced that last week, we touched on it, right? Okay, now what I want you to do is even feel just underneath where your belly button is L4, L5. It's a really common place for postnatal women to get injuries, because if their umbilicus, the TVA, isn't contracting that umbilicus as part of the core properly, then L4, L5, that vertebrae is, those two vertebrae, can't even say the word, are really vulnerable, especially when we're bending over and picking up load all the time, like, 50 times a day at least, right? So what I want you to do is just put your fingers on your spine, underneath that lumbar curve, that little curve of the lower back, directly underneath the belly button. Okay, breathe into your belly again, like we just did. So breathe in, your belly's gonna fill with air. Breathe out, get that drawing up, and the drawing in, like a corset tightening around the rib cage, draw up through the pelvic floor, and I want you to increase pressure at the hand that's at your lower back, yeah? Relax off it, take another deep breath in, breathe into the belly. Breathe out, do the same thing again. Breathe out. Little tiny pelvic tilt, tiny. This is lower abdominal activation, okay? Breathe in again. Breathe out. Two more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. And relax off that. We're gonna come back to that for a second set. But roll over onto your tummy now. My legs are extended. I'm just gonna sort of put my head up comfortably on my hands. And now you'll feel your belly push into the ground when you breathe in. So big deep breath in, you'll feel the rib cage and the belly expand. So breathe in now, feel it push into the ground. And now I want you to exhale and see if you can draw your belly button right up off the mat or right up off the ground when you exhale. Do that again when you're ready. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Get all the air out. Push it out, push it out, push it out. And repeat. Do the same thing. Inhale. Exhale. Draw up, draw up, draw up, draw up, draw up, draw up. And one more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And we're going to do one more set. Back over onto your back. This is the last set. Yeah? Hands on your tummy. if you want to progress it, hand at that lumbar curve, breathe in, breathe out. Remember, we're drawing up, really important. Think about pelvic floor coming up. Whatever visual, whatever cue helps that with you. Draw up and then start to tighten the rib cage in towards each other. Can you increase the pressure on that hand that's at the lower back? Or if you've got your hands there, can you really draw the hands right back in while creating tension rather than just sucking in? Do it again. Breathe in. So you just got your breathing pace. We're breathing in, we're feeling. We're exhaling, and you're pursing your lips. So you're tightening your lips and really pushing all the air out. One more like that. Really big deep breath in. See if you can get 4 seconds to breathe in. Breathe out. Really, as you force all that last bit of air up and out, the pelvic floor is drawing up with the diaphragm. Remember that. Picture that. Flip over. Last set. Over onto your tummy. Pop your head on your hands. Big deep breath in, feel your belly, your rib cage, everything pushes into the ground. Exhale, and this time when you exhale and you're emptying all that air out, see if you can not push into the ground or tense up anywhere else. Keep going at the pace of your breath. Breathe in, everything pushes into the ground, you'll feel that. Look for that because you know then you're breathing diaphragmatically. And then exhale, pull that right up. Try and pull your rib cage up off the ground. Are you drawing up through pelvic floor? Are you relaxing your glutes and your shoulders and your arms and your neck? Go one more. Big deep breath in. Feel it, feel it, fill up with air like a big balloon. Last exhale. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Get it all out, get it all out, get it all out. And rest. That's it. That's what you guys can practice. If you can get your breath right, your breathing mechanics right, it's going to help your core so much. We've talked a little bit about that, right? Now, your week 2 programming is about getting outside. You'll see your bonus workouts are all about just getting you moving outdoors and in nature and in some fresh air. Trust me, that can do wonders for your mental and emotional state, especially for us mums that we just kind of plug away a lot of the days, or we rush from here to there, and kids are asleep, so we're kind of stuck inside, or there's commitments that keep us tied to the home. And also I know a lot of you work as well, so you're kind of getting into work really early and then you're rushing home and doing the afternoon dinner, bed, bath stuff. So actually dinner, bath, bed. Hopefully not dinner, bed, bath. That would be out of order. Clearly my family's organised, but let me know how you go this week, and yeah, stay in contact with me in the Facebook forum. I love the conversations. I love questions. Please ask. Nothing is a silly question. Don't make me feel useless, make me feel useful. So let's make the most of this. Have fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to let you guys go.